Okay, so I wouldn't look up if I were you because it's a little drizzling and I'm still insisting that I go on with this. So on my right, you can actually see the ACM, and we're going to start with Cavanaugh Bridge. Okay, Cavanaugh Bridge, very interesting architecture, suspension bridge. Right, so if you come and take a look at the police notice here, this is not a vehicular bridge. This was actually only for pedestrian, and even if you were to carry your bullock cart, you couldn't exceed your weight limit. So it's basically a non-vehicular bridge. Okay, so this allows people to cross over from this side of the Singapore River to the other side, linking your colonial offices to the financial district itself. Okay, so on one island where we are on one side of the river, which we are, this is all the financial district. On the other side, where you actually find the Fullerton itself, that is where your governmental offices are actually found. Right? This is I think this is the first suspension bridge in this region. Right, so it's an iron suspension bridge, and it's built in 1869. Right, completed in 1869. So I'm going to walk you through. As we walk through and you look ahead, you will see the current civic district, okay, where the CBD is, with all the banks and all the wonderful skyscrapers that you find in Singapore. Okay, so this is the beautiful skyline of Singapore as we walk through Anderson Bridge. No, sorry, this is Cavanaugh Bridge. Okay, Cavanaugh Bridge. Right. As we pass through Cavanaugh Bridge, we will come to the Fullerton Hotel. The Fullerton Hotel is formerly the post office. Right. It also held some of the governmental offices. So it was a very important landmark in Singapore. Right. Very beautiful. You can see the colonial buildings, the architecture style, all very beautiful sights. Right. As we come to the end of Cavanaugh Bridge, you can look around and you see the iron columns, the suspension that keeps it intact. Amazing piece of architecture. At the base of it, on the left, you can see some of the famous bronze statues, right? They are around. So what we will do today is we will loop around Fullerton, go back up Anderson Bridge, which is in the front, come down, and we'll go along the side of Empress Place on the opposite coast. Sorry. So what you see here is actually one of the many bronze statues that litter the Singapore River. Right, this was an initiative started in the early 2000s. This is one of them. Okay. Title of this is The First Generations by Chong Fa Chong. So over the years, Singapore River used to be very clogged up. It was one of the main transport arteries that allow us to go into one of the ports of call globally in the colonial days. So what you see coming up front now is a mock-up of a junk boat. Nowadays it's used to carry tourists. Okay, even though we're running right in the middle of the pandemic, we do actually still have local tourists. Okay, and some overseas work pass holders who during their free time do take part in some of the domestic tourist activities here. So you can see this is actually a bumboat, right? And it's basically a cruise to nowhere. They go out, in the past they would go out to near the mouth of the river, which is near the sea. Now they can't even go so far out because it's now blocked up. This is all part of a freshwater lagoon now, ending off at the Marina Barrage. So this was a very common sight, having boats stream through the river, loads of boats, and where they're headed for is actually straight ahead, where you see the old go-downs of what is now known as Boat Quay. Right, and the steps along the boat quay itself, those steps were essential in the process of disembarking materials, spices, and whatever came down from the large ships. Okay, so a lot of these smaller junk boats are actually functioning like taxis and like your little pickup trucks. So they pick up the main items in the boats out at sea, and then they transport them into the go downs here where the trade itself actually takes place. So a modern replacement for this would be, because we don't use this anymore for trading, a modern replacement for this would be what we see in our Pasir Panjang terminals, and increasingly what will be moved eventually to Jurong, where we have our massive container ports in Jurong. So this is what it used to be. Right. Nostalgically, this is also because where we started our history. The central business district actually grew in this area and has been here ever since. So we'll move on, right? As we move on back to Anderson Bridge, which is near where we started. Now, if we look across the opposite coast, you can actually see another set of bronze statues on the other coast. We have no access to that today because it's now currently under renovation. So there are two sets actually, okay, both of which are out of bounds at this current moment in time. In the background, you do also see Victoria Concert Hall. Okay, yet another one of the old colonial buildings that have been repurposed for other purposes now. Concert Hall is still in action. So if you do go to Victoria Concert Hall now, you will realize that it is actually a performance venue with a very nice restaurant. So where we are now is along the sides of the Fullerton building itself. Very interesting. Look at the architecture. Very colonial. And we're coming up to this bridge, Anderson Bridge. Let's take a look at Anderson Bridge. The structure of Anderson Bridge is largely very, very different from the one that we crossed earlier, Cavanaugh Bridge. Reason being, Anderson Bridge was designed to be a vehicular bridge. Given that the rate of development across the two sides of the Singapore River, it became increasingly difficult if you couldn't have vehicular traffic moving across. So Cavanaugh Bridge was originally intended to be removed once Anderson Bridge came into action. But like our current situations where infrastructure is continually being built, after they built Anderson Bridge, they decided to keep Cavanaugh Bridge, okay, and keep it as a pedestrian crossing, while Anderson Bridge became more focused as a vehicular passing bridge. So the design having it being built a bit later, adopts a very different design. It's not a suspension bridge. It is also made of iron. And let's take a walk around the bridge itself. Okay, so as we walk across, I'll tell you a bit more about the bridge. So we're at the edge of Fullerton Hotel. This is one of the many entrances. It's a very beautiful place. Lots of roses because it's near Valentine's. What you see up ahead is Marina Bay Sands, MBS, and I think the rain has stopped. Welcome to Singapore. Right, up ahead, this is Customs House. No, this is not Customs House. This used to be one of the funny buildings that were part of the customs systems itself. Okay, so what you see over there is Marina Bay Sands, which a lot of tourists know. So we're gonna move past Anderson Bridge. As we walk across Anderson Bridge, take the chance to admire the completely different construction style that's adopted at Anderson Bridge. Very interestingly, Anderson Bridge at this point here, this very point here, is not the pedestrian. It's the pedestrian area. It's been blocked off. But does it mean that you cannot drive on Anderson Bridge? No. Okay, it is still a vehicular bridge. So if you take a look at this side of Anderson Bridge, two-way traffic. Okay, I will not break the law. I will not walk across, but it is vehicular passable. And very interestingly, this is actually where F1, the racetrack, our city track, goes past. So you can see the bus coming. Okay, this bus that's coming is 167, and a car on this side. So this is actually a real current vehicular bridge that's currently in use in Singapore. Anderson Bridge. So let's move back in. Right, so imagine this is the 1850s, 1860s, right, 1900s, and you're making your way back from the Civic District area back into town, right, walking towards Chinatown after a long day of work. What will you be seeing, right? This is the sights and sounds that you'll be hearing. Not really, not the sounds, but this is roughly the view that you will be getting. Very beautiful infrastructure, very beautiful lighting. Most of these have been changed. The structure itself hasn't been changed much, but your things like your lights and all, these have undergone change over the years. Okay. So I can hear in the background is basically some renovation work that is still ongoing. As they seek to continue to refurbish this area to make it more friendly for users. And straight ahead you will see Victoria Memorial Hall or Victoria Theatre. So now that we have gone past two of our three pivotal bridges today, we will now proceed down along the side of the Civic District for a slow walk by the riverside. Now, Singapore River has not been so clean all this while. Throughout history, with the large amount of boating traffic and shipping activity, Singapore River was up to the early 80s chock full of trash, right? I will be very happy that I'm wearing a mask at this distance because you have smelt it quite a bit further away. So in the 80s, late 80s, we went on a massive river cleaning project and we got it to what it is today. Okay, I wouldn't swim in it, and technically you're not allowed to swim in it, although near Boat Quay area you do get expats who take a dip on and off when they're drunk. But you're not allowed to swim in it technically, so it's not a swimming river. Right, it's against the law to do so. You will see signage later on telling you that you shouldn't do it. So as we move along, you will see more and more of these colonial buildings, which all have been repurposed. So we will not be walking on the opposite coast right through the watering holes of Boat Quay. Main reason being, I don't think it's very safe to do so, not in the middle of a pandemic. So we're actually going to be on this coast. And we're on the opposite bank of the CBD area, the region, where you will see all the major banks, law firms, and financial centre of Singapore. In the distance, right across the river, there is a bird statue in bronze by Botero. Okay, it is one of the key landmarks in this area. On our coast, along Empress Place, what you will see is a whole line of human bust, right? Head busts of famous world leaders. So the one that we passed earlier on was Ho Chi Minh, right? And what you have up here, if I'm not wrong, is Deng Xiaoping. So you're not the only two, there are more along the way. And if you do have time and you do come by this area on your own, please take some time to admire the place. Okay. Empress Place. What you see in Empress Place now is actually the Asian Civilization Museum. It too has been repurposed into a museum with a very nice restaurant at the bottom. So on the opposite shore, if you look very carefully, you will see that there are steps along the entire Boat Quay area, right in front of all the low shop houses. Some of these shop houses are, well, in its day, not exactly low, because they can be 3 to 4 stories high, which is a monumental effort trying to get up because they didn't have lifts back then. Now, what were they largely used for? These were used as go-downs, storage areas. So they were used primarily as a temporary storage area while the product that was brought in by the junk boats was stored before they were sent out either to another coast, another country, or sold locally. Right? So this was our main area that propelled Singapore to where it is today in colonial days. Take some time, admire the beautiful scenery around us. It is astonishing to see how far we've come. Right, Asian Civilization Museum in itself is a very, very well stocked museum, okay, with an emphasis on Asian culture and Asian heritage. So if you have time, please drop by the ACM to explore the hidden treasures of Asia and Southeast Asia. Interestingly, if you look carefully down, right, you will see at the edge of the steps, they have a warning that says caution deep water. Now, I'll bring this back to our idea of Singapore being a deep sea harbour. Back then, this area here was considered very, very deep already. So the larger go-downs, the larger boats could actually still come in and drop off their materials and not get wedged onto the bed of the river. So this is one of the key reasons why we survived as a port back then. Okay, this is not man-made. The deep sea harbour here was a naturally occurring one. It was a stroke of luck actually that we have an entrance like this that allow the port area to be developed here. Okay, so on the flip side, now that we don't use this as a port and we have watering holes on the opposite coast where people get drunk all the time, this becomes a hazard. So on the opposite coast, you will not see something that's so open. You actually see barriers and chains that exist right before the water's edge, before the final step, because it's quite a steep drop into the water if you were to jump in from here. So caution deep water, no swimming. Oh, sorry. Now we're going to continue moving on to our final bridge, which is right ahead of us. That is Elgin Bridge. Elgin Bridge is once again another one of these nice bells. Elgin Bridge ahead is one of the other vehicular bridges, the final one that we'll be visiting today in our walk across the three bridges. Right. All you see up front is the famous statue of Raffles, Sir Stamford Raffles. This is taken to be one of the approximated landing sites where he first landed in Singapore. Right, being a naturally deep harbour, this was as far as they could go before the boat would get wedged. So they actually made landfall here. Right. Is this exactly the location? Well, nobody really knows. Right. So it's as good as an estimate as you can get. Up front, the one with the gates and the fence up area is where you have Parliament House. Right, Parliament House. Security is pretty tight. I don't think I should go too near it because I may get taken down by the security. Okay, but this is basically the Civic District. So you see the juxtaposition of our original row of shop houses that propped up the Singapore's economy, and now in the background you see the business centre. It's propping up our economy now. Okay, One Raffles Place, OCBC Building, UOB Centre, CapitaLand. These are our economy's backbone. Okay, the things that keep our economy alive. Okay, maybe wondering what this water bee thing is. This actually is your bum boat ride. Okay, so under normal circumstances, you can actually get a bum boat ride from here to the other side. So what you see here is Parliament House. Okay, as we approach Elgin Bridge, the final destination for today's journey. Parliament House is one of the newer buildings along this stretch. It is not one of the repurposed colonial buildings. It's actually a custom built building. Interestingly, the last time I went into Parliament House was when our late Mr. Lee Kuan Yew passed away, and his body was lying in state in Parliament House. I had the honor of going in and paying my respects in person. Right, coming up ahead, Elgin Bridge is one of the newer bridges, so if you look at it very carefully, it does not look like the first two bridges that we were looking at earlier on in the walk, Cavanaugh Bridge and Anderson Bridge. Elgin Bridge is a combination of concrete plus some steel structures. Okay, it has been rebuilt several times. It was originally a wooden bridge. Over the years, it has been rebuilt to withstand more and more vehicular traffic, and more importantly, it was originally rebuilt to allow for larger vessels to clear underneath it. Okay. So at this point, you can see very clearly Elgin Bridge ahead of us, right? Typically, for the bridges along our Civic District Trail, they came with pedestrian walkways by the side. If it was a vehicular bridge, it would have the vehicles moving in the middle of the bridge and pedestrian trails on both sides. Okay. For the newer ones, what the government has built in response to the increasing need for transportation and pedestrian walkways is they built underpasses along the sides. So there's an underpass by the side of Elgin Bridge as well as Anderson Bridge that will allow you to walk through to the other side without crossing the road, because the vehicular traffic can get a little crazy in the daytime. So these underpass help to facilitate movement of people, pedestrians across the entire Civic District area. So if you look across where you see the 7-Eleven right across us, okay, that whole row is called Boat Quay. All the original shop houses there have been repurposed. This is what you can call gentrification. The original function of it has been replaced by a modern, hip, trendy function. What is interesting is they actually kept what was originally in the riverfront itself. So if you look very carefully, you do see the steps before these shops, before the seats of the various restaurants. And these steps were essential. Why do we have so many steps? At this moment in time, you need to remember that this used to be linked to the sea, which means that it will be affected by tides. So at high tide line, the water will be higher. At low tide line, it will be lower near where we are today. Although now we are not that affected by the tide situation. So this is our walk, right? Now, interestingly, you still have tourists in the middle of the pandemic visiting Singapore. I guess, well, if you can pay for the quarantine and everything, you can still come and visit Singapore. So we'll end the journey here today at Elgin Bridge. Hope it has been interesting for you and insightful. Right? We hope you join us again for the next learning journey and the next walk around Singapore. Have a good day ahead.